Hey y'all, what's going on? Let's get some questions answered today. Please look at the description if you are new here. And if you're not new here, same thing, look at the description so that you can better understand how it's working tonight. Because it's a little bit different than usual, but it's pretty much the same. I mean, really, if you have a question, ask me a question, okay? Because if you want me to just generally read for you and you don't have a question, that's fine. But if you are expecting to, get a certain question answered, or you want to know about a certain topic, then you need to let me know what the topic is that you want me to focus on. Because it's likely that the cards will feel that there's, other issues that are more important for you to focus on. And you may disagree with that, so, it's not just going to give you exactly what you were thinking about, so I'm not magical, so I won't know. I'm just reading cards, so the cards might feel different about the issues that are more important. Again, if you have a specific question, please ask it so that I can better assist you today. If you're new here or if you're returning, either way, please look at the description and just check it out really quick. Read it and see what's going on there so that you know how to do this tonight and how to get a reading. So it's not going to be any wheel tonight. I'm splitting up the cards. I only do uprights. So I'm making them all upright. And it's not going to be the wheel tonight, okay? So I'm just going to kind of get random. But if you are new, tonight is your first time here. Like, I don't mean new like last week. I mean, this is your first time here. Then please let me know, and you will get a reading. And if you donate, of course, you'll get a reading right away as well. So let me know if you donate as well, okay? Hey. What time is it for you guys right now? And can you guys hear me okay? Let me know. It's 6:06 a.m. here. Nice. Can you guys check out the description really quick, please? Go read it so you know how it's going to work tonight. We're not doing the wheel, unfortunately, but it's still going to be fun. Still going to get some clarity. Still going to get some answers. So if you want to know the best way that you can get a reading, check out the description because it has all the information there. Doesn't matter if you're returning or new, just check it out, please, for a second. Just read it so you know how it's going to work tonight. Is it echoing? Might be because I'm kind of in the corner. Do you feel like it's still echoing, or is it worse right now? Or is it better? Is it worse right now, or is it worse over here? Is it worse over here? Well, I don't know. How would you say, like, over there, the first one? Like, where? Shit. It might be echoing just because I'm in a. Oh, you're right. Okay, got you.
Now is it better? Yep, it's because there was 2 mics. I didn't take the other one off. You're right. There was 2 mics, yes. That's exactly what it was. Okay, right on. Thank you. Glad I asked because you guys weren't going to tell me, were you? So yeah, that's probably. Anyway, read the description, you guys, if you can, please, when you get a chance, because that's going to have all the information there to get a reading tonight. It's going to be a little bit different than normal, than what we usually do. So if you're new here, especially go and check it out. If you are new here as well, by the way, if this is your first time ever visiting this channel, it's not, you know, like last week I subscribed, but I never got a reading. No, I mean, like, if today is your first day here, like ever, then let me know, because you can get a reading that way. You can donate and get a reading immediately for sure that way. Or you can just maybe possibly get called on, because I'm going to call random. We might do some fun stuff to see who gets a reading. But tonight we don't have the wheel, so we're going to have to get creative with it. But please check out the description, okay? Hi, you guys. How is everybody? How are you guys? Oops. Thanks for, well, you didn't really ask, but thanks for saying that, Infinity. I am good. I'm good. Oh, come on, 2020. You know you want one. Okay. Hi, Sahu. Hi, Infinity. Lynn. Ruxana. Entity of Light. Lovely name. It's a really cool name. 2020. Glitter Goblin. Empowered Diva. Priyanka. I'm happy to see some returning faces. Harsha. All right, you guys, so who's going to be first? Let's see. How should we do this? Let's do it. Well, I feel like I should do whoever has What are your guys' birthdays? Put the month. All I need is the month. Let's go ahead and type in the chat what month your birthday is. Lynn, I was thinking April. So go ahead, Lynn. If you have a question, post it now. If not, let me know and I will just kind of read generally for you. But just know that if you do have a personal question, a specific one, then the cards might think that there's other issues that need to be brought to your attention. Okay, general? Okay. Well, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. You know, it's if you think that what you're thinking about is going to come out, it may not. It may, but it may not. So if you have a specific question, go ahead and ask it. But if not, then let's continue. Tell me what Lynn needs to know. Tell me what Lynn needs to know. Upcoming changes in her life. Upcoming changes and events in her life. What do we need to know for Lynn? What does she need to know? What does she not know? What does she need to know? What does Lynn need to know about future changes and upcoming events in her life, please? Okay, rest period. Okay. Wow. All right, so it's like you're going to be taking a rest. If you're not, the reason I feel like this is coming out like this is because, first of all, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Star card, which is Aquarius energy, but it can also represent, you know, like there is hope still, and you should have faith in yourself. So maybe this is a time where you're kind of like questioning or doubting yourself or questioning, you know, what you should do, or maybe you think like something has no hope left in some situation, or maybe about yourself even. You know, you're just kind of doubting yourself and not really sure where to go with that. But I think it's basically saying you do have healing to do, so you should focus on that. And that's probably why that's coming out, because maybe you're not so ready to kind of rest and heal yourself. You know, you might feel like, I want to work. I need to work more. I need to like get my shit together, make more money, or whatever the case is about, you know, your pentacles here. But to me, it's saying, you know, you need to rest first, you know, because there's things that you're not really addressing that probably should be addressed before you really get into whatever this is. It could be a new hobby, a new job, a new thing that you've never done before, possibly, that you're going to be so passionate about. I mean, you're going to be really happy to be doing this. Like, you're going to be doing it. You know, you're going to be spending most of your time doing it. But it's not going to be like a job that, oh, I don't want to do this. It's going to be like something you really enjoy. So that's cool. And you can actually make a lot of money doing it. So that's cool too. Upcoming changes, upcoming events here. But I think it's really important here that you do this work first, this Four of Swords, this resting and this healing. Because if you don't, then you might not be able to find whatever it is this is about. You know, whatever this passionate thing that you're going to be into, this new passionate thing is, because you're not going to be focused on yourself enough. You know, you need to heal. Because once you do, I feel like there won't be as many boundary issues, and you'll be able to more focus on yourself and know that it's not a selfish thing. You know, right now you might be focused on other people, or you might just be focused on, you know, something that you feel like is like necessary for your life, but it's not really something that you really like want to be doing, or it's not something that is like good for you maybe, you know, it's just something that, like, to find what this is, you'd have to allow yourself to actually try to find it instead of just, you know, settling for whatever you've been doing. So I feel like that's why healing needs to happen, especially because you won't probably even be able to make it to this stage without it. So healing for sure. Let's see what else is coming out. And this is going to mean, you know, before you find this, it's going to be a period of maybe you can't find a job. It doesn't necessarily have to be a job. The only reason I'm saying job is because you will be able to make money doing this. You know, you'll be very successful at it. So, you know, Pentacles, it could bring you stability. This could even just be like stability because you really love to do it and it's something that you can focus on and you don't have to focus on other things that are negative or something to that effect. But so it doesn't have to mean money, but you know, 10 of Pentacles, I'm thinking money. It's what came to me. But usually we'll talk about money. So but you know, this needs to happen first. So it's like, yeah, you just need to make sure that you're taking a rest first. So right now, if you've been working tirelessly and endlessly on trying to find like that job that's good for you and everything, you know, it's the reason you're not finding it is because you haven't healed yourself yet. Maybe you should just take a little break. Telling you, take a little break and connect with yourself again, because I feel like you're just disconnected from yourself and you can't even really connect with what you want to be doing and what's best for you. You're focused on what's needed and it's not enjoyable. But it can be. Look at this. I'm telling you, it can be enjoyable. You don't have to do something you don't want to do. You can enjoy your work. Okay. See? Bringing a lot of balance and harmony to your life. Much needed right now. This is also the Sag card, Sagittarius, but it doesn't have to mean there's a Sag in your life. It could just mean, you know, like I said, bringing a lot of harmony and balance to your life. This is a needed thing. And C2, it's in the first position along with the healing. So it's like, that's what's, you know, obviously going to bring a lot of balance to your life first and even allow you to find this thing that you really love to do. Yeah, that's the most important step. And that's why it's the first one. It's like you can't get here without doing this first. So take a break, take a rest. 3 of Cups. Okay, could be doing this with friends of yours. You know, you guys come up with this idea together. You guys have this like endeavor you want to, you know, create. You want to start a business maybe, or, you know, even just a hobby together, but it eventually makes money. Okay, give me the 10 of Pentacles for this. Okay. Interesting twist. There's sadness, there's disappointment. You might feel ridiculed. You might feel like you were, like you could be very hard on yourself about this. And let's find out why that is, because it's not clear to me now why that would be. So yeah, it seems like you're very hard on yourself. We're gonna have to discover what this is about here. What is the 9 of Swords here for Lynn? Right when things are getting good, she just is hard on herself. Why is this happening? Where is this coming from and why? Okay, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so you get a little carried away here. Like I said about money, yeah, you make money, okay? But the reason that you're upset is because you start to focus on the money too much. And that's what the King of Pentacles is here for. He is, you know, he has all his jewels and all his, you know, his stuff here around him, but he basically is too, you know, it's, he's too consumed by all of these things. It's like the most important thing to him now. And as we all know, it's really not the most important thing. I mean, it is in some ways, right? To live, you need money. But when you start focusing on like material items are everything, and you start to notice your relationships dwindle and you're not as happy, you're not as fulfilled because you don't have the support you need around you emotionally. And that's what we're seeing, you know, it's like use your better judgment here, but obviously that's going to be difficult with the moon. This is Pisces energy as well, and Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn possibly. But I feel mostly this is just saying, you know, this is a strong energy of a person who gets, who becomes very materialistic because you're probably making a lot of money, but it's really not satisfying you. And why is that? Because you're focused on it too much. And now it's about the money. And now it's not even about, you know, this passionate thing. It's not even about that anymore. Because before it was like, yeah, this is fulfilling to me. I'm satisfied with this. And then you started making money and you're like, oh, okay, now it's about the money. Now you're not satisfied. But it's hard for you to really understand that because the moon here. So it's kind of like you have clouded thinking about this. Like you probably feel like, no, money's good, you know, that it's helping me out. It's a good thing. Best of both worlds, right? But one of them, you're teetering to the other side too much. And that's the materialistic side. We have Page of Pentacles again. So it looks like you're still going to be focused on money. Like you'll be able to come back and gain more stability through this, but you'll have to start from the bottom. Like you'll have to, this is the beginning stages of it, you know? Page of Pentacles, it's young energy, it's the beginning. So it's like you're going to have to change your perspective on this. And, you know, the moon being here, it's kind of like you're going to have to just probably wait for the sun to come back up so that you can actually see what it is that's happening. Like the moon, the sun, and, you know, it's going to come up the next day. So hopefully it's short-lived, this whole disillusionment and this whole, like, confusion for you. You seeing things this way, you know, you need to use your better judgment, but it's going to be difficult to do that because of the moon. You know, you probably feel like you're using your better judgment, but you'll see, you know, very soon. It doesn't seem like it'll be a long period of time just because the moon and the sun, you know, the sun will come out the next day. So basically, not the next day probably, but, you know, not too long that you'll see what's going on. And then you'll have to start from the bottom. So good luck to you. Hopefully, you know, that answered any question you might have or some issue that you may be facing, or maybe this is something that hasn't happened yet, right? Because this is like future. And Two of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to have to decide how you're going to do this. It's like something that you haven't decided yet. Well, when you get to this point, you know, when you get to this point of having to start from the bottom again, you're going to have to change some things. And some things you're probably going to have to sacrifice and let go of. Pisces energy, sacrifice. Some things you're going to have to sacrifice in order to gain that clarity back and to discover, you know, where do I want to go with this? What do I want to do? How do I want to approach it? Because what is my goal? Like, what am I trying to get? Where am I trying to go? And obviously, you know, you're trying to be fulfilled again and feel good about your life. But to do that, you have to do, you know, you have to weigh out all these different options. It's not just one thing that you have to focus on. You're welcome. No problem, William. Yeah, there's going to be some hobbies. So first of all, it's not going to be some job. Like, it'll be a hobby first. It'll be something you're interested in and passionate about first. But then later on, we see with the Ten of Pentacles that you could make money doing it, you know? So it could turn into something that you could start making money. I don't mean like a job 9 to 5, you go in and you come home every day. I mean, it doesn't have to be at an office or anything. It could be at home. It could be, again, your friends and you and your friends could be doing this together. You could discover this new thing together. And then just, you know, start selling it online or whatever it is, you know, whatever this new hobby is that you're very passionate about. That doesn't feel like a job, but you can make money doing. So that's what's cool about it. Hi, Pia. Hi, Caramel Apple. Sahu, Pinkie Pie. Lesego. All right. Check out the description, you guys, please, if you get a chance. It's really important you do that just because, you know, it's a little bit different tonight, obviously. So I just want you guys to know how it works, okay? So check out the description so that you can understand what's going on tonight and how we're doing this. Thanks for being here. All right, so for this next question, let's see. For this next question, also let me know if you donate and let me know if this is your first day here. Today is your first day because you automatically will be getting a reading if it is. But I still love you returning people. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Hi. How are you guys? Yes, the other bunch, but I mean the people that have come on since then. How are you guys? Ooh, let's get this next one. Give me a sign of the person. Give me a sign of the person. Beautiful water. Is there a Pisces in the house? Do we have a Pisces in the house here? Mutable water. The mutable water sign is Pisces. Do we have a Pisces here? Aw, thanks, Infinity. Is there a Pisces here? Let me know if there's a Pisces here. If any of you are Pisces. I'd be really surprised if there isn't. There's got to be. If there's not a Pisces here, then Aries, but let me know if you're a Pisces or an Aries. This is kind of weird because Pisces is right before Aries too, but just saying. Looks like we're going in order. Come on, Pisces. Let me know if you're a Pisces. Let me know if you're an Aries. Mutable fire. That's Sag. You're a Pisces, okay. That's funny because I was going to say the next person that comes, I'm not going to say it because I didn't say it. I should have just said it, but I didn't. So, anyway, Nick. Wow. You finally get your reading, but you were going to get one anyway. Remember last time I told you, let me know when you're here next time and I'll give you that reading. So go ahead and ask your question if you have one. If you don't have one, I'm just going to pull for you. We're going to see what comes out generally, but if you have a specific thing you'd like to talk about, please do not hold that back because it may not come out in a general reading. It might, but it might not. So if you do have something specific, please let me know. You don't have to tell me all the details, but just give me the question you have and what you're wanting clarity on. Hi, BIRCW. I don't know how to pronounce that, so hi. Let's see. Well, first let's get some main energies here for you. Angel and Nick. What do we need to know about them romantically? Anything you can tell us about the romantic life, please? have a crush on him at work. Haven't seen him for a year. Now I'm back at the same job. We work different shifts though. Okay. What is the time romantically between them? What is to come romantically between them, if anything? What is the relationship going to look like as we close out the year 2021, as we start 2022, and close out 2021? What do we see happening between these two? What is the energy between them? Will they be coming together romantically? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So there has been, if not like literally there was a past between you romantically, there is something that it could be after the tower because, well, basically what we're seeing here is someone needing to take responsibility at the end here eventually. So this isn't the first step, but after the tower here, the high priestess is saying, whatever you intuitively are feeling is going to happen between you is probably the case because the high priestess is very intuitive and she knows things without being told directly. So whenever I see that, I just tell you, you don't have to tell me what it is you're thinking, but I'm just telling you that, whatever you feel is going to play out is, whatever you intuitively feel is going to play out, may very well be the case. But if you don't feel like there's going to be a big, change, transformation with you, then you are not very in touch with your intuition because that is what's going to happen. This is probably a karmic relationship. And what that means is that you guys are going to learn from each other through this. Like, this is something that's supposed to help you grow, but it could be very hard on the way to that growth. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be something that you will remember, if not forever, for a long time. It's going to stick with you. It's going to be pretty intense. And that's because the tower, it looks scary. It's really not. Depends on how you feel about change, because change is what's going to happen. And that's because, well, you probably don't like change very much because that's why the tower's here. You haven't made change. And when that happens, when we don't make these little changes along the way to, make it better for ourselves or, adjust in ways that are needed, we stick in a situation that not necessarily between you guys, but just maybe your environment in general in your own life. Or in your guys' connection, whatever, friendship, whatever it is that happens, you don't make certain changes that need to be made in your life in general. So when you don't, the tower comes out because you're veering off from your path now. So now I'm going to change everything in your life because you're not doing it. And, there's only one way to do this, and that's by everything has to fall apart. So that's basically the transformation there, because you will rise again, but it'll be as a different person. And you can't really go back to the person you used to be before because that's all gone now. That's all crashed and burned to the ground. That's done. So it's going to be a life-changing thing for you. Pretty intense. But at the end of it here, we see someone needing to take responsibility. So I feel like, whatever happens between you, the only way it's going to continue is if someone takes responsibility. And this could be, one-sided. This could be you both wanting the other person to take responsibility. I hope that you would both be responsible enough as adults to take responsibility for both your equal parts in the situation. But it could be that something happens to where someone's, needing an apology or something like that. So let's dig into this a little bit more. So give me the energy here of what is this responsibility that's needing to be taken? Ooh, okay. All right. So I'm not going to use all of these because that's a lot, but I'll use the first one since we've seen that one already. Okay, so the first one here is talking about, it was kind of one-sided. At least one person's feeling like it was. Because, hi, John Alley. Hi, Joe. Because basically here, this is someone is carrying a lot of weight, and most of the weight, all the weight on their shoulders. They're carrying these 10 wands up this hill. So yeah, this is obviously something that's going to go down. And I would say it's not a light relationship, you know, because changes need to be made here that aren't made, and then shit is going to change for you just because of this. Well, like I said, you know, it's certain changes that need to be made. It's not necessarily just about your guys' connection, but it probably has something to do with it, okay? So if this becomes a situation that, of course, somebody's already feeling it, you know, this is one-sided, I'm doing all the work, I'm putting out all the effort, the other person isn't. But with the Ten of Wands, it's also, you know, the person's not really asking for help. They're just doing everything themselves. So it could be a situation where one person is kind of passive, right? And they're doing all of this, they're putting out all the effort, and they feel like the other person isn't, but they're not really saying that. And then at one point, they just kind of can't do it anymore. And that doesn't really seem fair, but at the same time, it does, because you shouldn't have to be told to put in equal effort. But then one person thinks they're putting in enough effort and the other person doesn't, but they didn't say anything. So how does the other person know? Like, maybe they're just oblivious to how the other person feels. So you guys need to be open in communication, first of all, is how you can solve that problem. It's just the beginning. So someone's going to need to take responsibility for, first of all, probably their feelings, first of all, because they're not saying them. They're not saying that they need help. It's just at one point they can't do it anymore. And then they'll say, I can't do it anymore. But they won't say, I need help. They'll just say, I can't do it like this. And the other person may not have even known that they were feeling that way. But if they do know that, then it would be wise for them to then take responsibility and start putting in effort. But, you know, if they don't know about it, then that would be time to say, I didn't even know you felt that way. You know, whatever needs to be said, just be honest with each other. So the way you can avoid this is probably by remembering this and making sure it's not you, by constantly checking in with the person and asking if they need help, just making sure you're putting in effort in the ways that they are. Try to meet them halfway. And if you feel like you're the one doing all this work, you need to speak up and say how you feel before it becomes too much for you, and then you would just want to not be part of it anymore and ruin it all together right there, or it's already ruined. So yeah, I would say you're going to communicate, definitely, for sure. Yeah. So somebody's wanting to bring stability back. I don't think it'll be like a situation that's like, I'm done and there's nothing that can be resolved. Like, you know, you can't redeem yourself, because here we don't have the death card or anything. It's just changes, big changes. So I feel like, you know, after this, somebody is still going, okay, I want to like provide, I want to have stability with you. Like, I don't want this to just be done. Like, I still want this to be a stable connection. So that could be a good thing. It's not done and over with. The changes, big changes are going to be happening here, and you guys will probably change as a result of this. You know, it's like your whole personality. I mean, not your whole personality, but you know, the way you approach life and the way you do things may be completely transformed after this, because things are going to fall apart in your life, and that's because you're not making certain changes that need to be made. So when things start feeling like nothing is working out, you're going to go and do things and they're not going to work out the way you wanted or planned, and things are just not going to happen the way that they were supposed to, you know, the way you planned or the way that you had thought they would, had expected them to. It's because you need to make certain changes in your life. But at that point, there's nothing you can really do. You're going to have to change a lot of things, you know, because you didn't. But you would have already known what these things were, you know, along the way. You know, I needed to make this change. I needed to make this change. I'm just going to not do that. I'm going to resist. But when things stop working out for you, it would be wise to not resist changes at that point, because it will be so much harder for you if you do still resist changes at that point. Like, don't think that things are going to work out the way that you've been doing them, because they won't. And you'll know that. You'll see that. It'll be obvious. There's nothing you'll be in it. But you may not think that it's going to be like that forever, and it won't. But you need to make changes, you know what I mean? So It's a pretty heavy thing, you know, until you realize that you need to make changes. But hopefully that's what you remember when that starts to happen. And how you can know that that's going to start, that's happening, is because everything you do is like not working out. Nothing you do is working out the way you want. Nothing. So you're going to have to make like a whole entire change all the way around. And it might be very uncomfortable, but it'll be a lot more comfortable and less unpleasant if you're able to flow with the changes. Let things come, let things go. Don't try to control anything. Don't try to put your hand in and control anything or anyone. Just let them be who they are and let things happen as they happen. You know, don't just sit back and do nothing, but allow things to happen the way that they're happening. Like, don't force anything, don't push anything, and don't resist changes, and you'll be good. It'll be over soon, you know, before you know it. But it'll be different. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty deep. Just depends on how comfortable you are with change, you know? And that's why it seems scary, because a lot of people aren't comfortable with change. Okay. Isha. That's the link, Disha. I don't know if you can actually press that, though. You may have to just type it into your, you know, you may just have to type it in yourself. I don't know if you'll be able to copy that, because I don't think I can even do that. It just kind of clicks on it. You might be able to, because it won't click on it for you. But that's the link for PayPal. Are you in Nepal, though? Or if you're in Nepal, it may not work for you, because some people in some areas of the world, for some reason, they don't. Well, I guess because they don't have PayPal. PayPal doesn't work. It's a secret. I like that name. It's funny. It's a secret. You are, I think, new today. I think today is your first time here. I don't think I've seen you before. So yeah, go ahead. Post your question if you have one. If not, I'll read for you generally, but just know if you have a question that you want answered specifically or a topic, let me know what it is, and we'll direct our energy at that. Right on, Disha. Okay. So is Lucy someone who has passed away? Because if so, I'm not a medium, and I can't do things like that. I don't talk to people who have passed. I'm just asking because of that reason. You know, I can't do that for you. So let me know if this person's just, you know, whatever the case is. But if they are passed, if they're dead, if they passed on, I cannot look into that. I don't do things like that. Unfortunately. Ooh, Jesus. I'm sorry about that, to hear that. Wow. That sounds scary. And so yeah, but sorry, I cannot look into that for you. If you have any other questions though, we can look into those. Sorry about that. You just got killed. Woo. Okay. It's gnarly. Mm-hmm. All right. very serious here. Let's see if we can find anything out about what you can do to move forward and anything you should know. Look out for, watch out for, anything that's important, anything that wants to come out here for you. It's a secret. It's a secret. You want to know if they are, and Disha. Yes, that's fine. That's perfect. Thank you, by the way. And yes, I will be getting onto your reading after this one. Okay. So yeah, come back in a few. I'm actually ready. Okay. Thank you. So let me know for It's a Secret. We want to know what she can do. She or he, actually. I don't know if you're male or female. She or he. We want to know what they can do moving forward from their friend being, passing away. From their understanding, this person was killed and they're worried that this will happen to them as well, or something like that will happen to them. They want to know how they can move forward from the situation, if they need to know anything about the situation, and anything that you really want to bring to their attention that you feel is important. Okay. So kind of like standing your ground in a situation, like taking care of your responsibilities for sure. Don't forget about that part of it. But also here with the Emperor, I mean, I just see a person who is standing strong in their, it's like you have authority still. I'm not saying go and talk shit to anyone. I'm not saying like you have to do anything about that. It's just you within yourself. Like, you know who you are, you know what you're doing, you're taking care of what you need to take care of for yourself. And, you're standing strong in that. So it's like, don't allow yourself to don't allow yourself to fall. I guess you could say it's like, still be taking care of yourself and what you need to take care of. Like if you have children or you have things that you're responsible for, you doing that, continue to be doing that and stand strong. Don't stop doing that. Even if you feel like doing that, it's important that you just remain responsible. Yeah. Okay. So you'll have opportunities to, increase your stability, if not actually gain more money somehow. It could be a job, it could be a new house you live in, a new car, something that brings stability to your life, something that helps and adds to stability. Because whatever stability is for you, the Pentacles are about security, stability, money sometimes, because usually money means stability to people, but it doesn't always mean that. It could mean just something that makes you feel more stable. So what's interesting here is the stability that you're going to have, but you do have to stand tall and, keep your responsibilities taken care of. That's for sure. Because without that, obviously that's going to be a whole different story. But I feel like you'll be good as long as you continue to, kind of keep to yourself too, is what I would say. It's like, yeah, definitely just like, stick to yourself, because this doesn't involve anyone else. You know what I mean? You doing what you need to do for yourself does not involve anyone else. So it's kind of like probably not even reaching out to anybody. And doing something completely new too. Also, since it's the Fool, right? We could be talking about somebody who's kind of naive about things, or they're trying to not think about certain things that have happened. Like, basically, you want something fresh, new, maybe even exciting, but you're just going and, you're just going for it. But it's like another part of the Fool is like, he's the first card of the tarot. So he's 0. You see at the top, he's 0. He's not even 1. He's 0 because it's the Fool's journey through the tarot, through the major arcana. So, the Emperor and different characters like that, that's what we're talking about. He starts it because the Fool doesn't know what's out in the world. But because it's not like he doesn't know and he knows he doesn't know. He just doesn't think there's anything to worry about. So in your situation, since you already know there's things to worry about, because you're not the Fool, but the way that the Fool's coming off is like you're just trying to forget about things that you already know and trying to go for it and just not really think about those things. So don't do that. Don't be naive, because you don't need to be. You're not naive. So don't forget about the things that you've learned, and don't just try to run from these things and avoid, actually facing them, because that could be dangerous. That's not what the fool's about, saying it could be dangerous. I'm just saying, it's basically saying you're not really worried about it because you don't want to think about it. Because in your situation, you do know. You're not the fool. So this would mean that this is kind of a thing that you're trying to avoid, or just be like in a, like, I wouldn't even say necessarily like head in the clouds, because it's like a thing that you want to do, like just to, it's escapism is what I'm saying. And that's probably because of trauma, and it may not be a conscious thing, but try your hardest to remain grounded and do what you need to do for yourself. Like, take care of your responsibilities, and just remember the things that you need to be doing, that you've been needing to do since before this happened and now. Try to stay grounded and remember what your job is, for yourself and for your people you might be overseeing or taking care of, or whatever the case is for you in your situation currently. Focus on your stability. You will have many opportunities to become more stable. So, but like all opportunities, we can miss them. So it's going to be up to you to take advantage of them when you see them there. Another thing here is the Hermit. This is the Virgo card, but this doesn't necessarily mean that there's a Virgo around. There could be, but it doesn't have to be. If there isn't, then what it means, and even if there is, I would still say what it means also is that this is a time for you to actually look into, yourself, connect with yourself. And in a huge way too, this is also talking about isolation. And not isolation like you're alone and it's not your choice. I mean your choice isolating. Getting right with yourself, having that self-check, self-reflection basically. You need to sit there with yourself and your feelings and your thoughts and your everything just by yourself. It's not about what other people think, what their opinion is, or what they want you to do. It's what you want to do, like what you need to do, not just want, because you might want to escape, right? But this is not going to allow you to escape. But again, just because I'm pulling these cards doesn't mean you're going to do this. But I think it's a good idea for you to actually do this, especially with what you're going through. It's like you need to get right with yourself and figure out, what am I trying to do? Where am I trying to go? What does this mean for me? What do I do now? And it only matters really what you think about that. Like, you need to start like meditating or something like that, meditation, that could be something you could try. Journaling. It's just basically having either a few days with yourself, a few months, doesn't matter how long it is, few hours, however long you need until you have the answers that you're looking for. You know what I mean? That's what the Hermit's about. It's about connecting to yourself and figuring it out by yourself, like through your own like inner self telling you. And it's hard work to do, especially when you've been through something. You don't want to do that. You want to avoid that, you want to escape that, but it's not a good idea. That's why the opposite of this card is Pisces, which is the moon, which is clouded thinking, escapism, because that's funny. I just realized that. Oh, and by the way, this card right here is Aries as well. There could be an Aries around you involved in the situation in some way, but if not, then that's fine. It's just letting you know that that also means Aries. Can I trust the girl I'm with? Okay, let's see. What do we need to know about the girl you're currently involved with? Okay, so first of all, to answer the question yes or no, I'm not going to do, because first of all, I just don't answer yes or no questions in that way, but with what we find out from these cards, you should be able to come up with the answer on your own. Trust is a very sensitive thing, and I'm not going to say whether or not you can. That's going to be up to you. But it looks like she is somewhat stable or trying to focus on stability in some way. Like, she has somewhat her shit together here because she has these pentacles. So if not literally having her shit together financially, at least she has that mindset. She has a good head on her shoulders. She's not insane. It's not, she's focused on trying to do the right thing. And also she's focused on, trying to build some kind of foundation, trying to save some money, trying to save up. It'd be a good idea to do that. That's probably what she's trying to do. But building a foundation, this person's holding on to their money and everything that they earn because they want to build, for themselves. They want to earn for themselves and be able to be stable. So it just fits in with the Nine of Pentacles as well. The Nine of Swords is here as well, though, which means there is, sadness, disappointment. There is her being hard on herself, very stressed out, staying up at night, not being able to sleep, really beating herself up, and, maybe not trying to, of course, but definitely hard situation she's going through as well. So let's see what this is about, because it could be anything, and I'm not going to assume. You may know what it's about, you may not. But we're going to find out kind of what the whole thing is here. What is the Nine of Swords here for? There's the Nine of Swords representing here for the person he's speaking with. It is hard to stay strong. This could also be Leo energy with the Strength card here. But basically, I feel like it's saying, there is something she's having to be strong about that she's not really having an easy time with. It could be regarding your friend there. It could be something else. Maybe it's because, you're this person you're asking about before that was, that has died. Maybe it's hard for you. And because it's hard for you, it's, you're with this person and it's hard for them as well because, you're going through it. And maybe you're putting them through it, or maybe it's just a result of, you going through it as well. But basically, somebody is definitely going through it, and it could be related to your situation or not. But, that's just kind of the case here. I mean, being strong is not easy for this person in this situation. But I feel like they will be able to push forward. This could be somebody that's kind of like your rock right now, just because, and this is the Cancer card as well, just so you know. Because here we do have, the Nine of Swords and the Strength card and the Chariot, but, it kind of seems like it's going into more of strength. Yeah, it's hard, but it's still, she's strong and able to kind of like move forward in some direction. So she's not being held back completely by this difficulty. So it kind of seems like, this is something that may help you as well. If this person is able to be strong enough, it may rub off on you, or maybe you're able to lean on her in some way, due to the strengths that she has. So to me, it seems like she's able to pull through. And the High Priestess and the World card, it says, basically, that this is a cycle, or that this is going to be something that reoccurs. So there's not much progress in a certain area having to do with this person. Like you and this person maybe have dealt through, you've gone through certain things before, certain things repeat themselves, and you feel like there's not much change there. So for, one way to change that, to resolve that, is to actually make a change, doing the same thing in response to whatever this cycle, whatever event, whatever this, thing that keeps happening between you is. You have to make a change. You can't do things the same way. You have to do it different. You have to find a new way of handling these things, or this will continue as time goes on. It'll just circle back. So that could be an issue here for you with this person. But, if you want things to change, you're going to have to make a change, okay? So keep that in mind. And, yeah, that's all I can give you for now. Hopefully that answered some questions for you. Thanks for coming, and thanks for asking your question. Let's see here. Am I being too loud? Am I? A little bit, huh? Yeah, sorry. Can I get carried away sometimes? I'll try them. I'll really try. Sorry. It's I don't know why I get louder as I keep going for some reason. Okay. Let's see. Disha, ask your question, please, if you have one. Guessing you have one since you donated. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay. So, what are Amy? Ame? Ayame? Ayame? I don't know exactly how to pronounce that, but we'll just continue. What are their current feelings and thoughts for me? Hi, Samuel. Hi, Angela. Hi, Once Upon a Fish. What are Amy's current feelings and thoughts for you? Okay. Let's see. What Amy's current feelings and thoughts for future? Anything else? Okay. 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 So this person has had a lot of alone time to think about this, or they may have that soon. I feel like this person does a lot of time by themselves, but because of this, it's led them to be able to take an action or move in some kind of direction. But the direction is basically based on bitterness and anger, which, doing this hermit mode should have resolved that or any of that, or maybe they can understand themselves more. But it seems like this person is taking a route that isn't so healthy. And it could have to do with, the commitment that you guys have together, or like, even if it's just a friendship, whatever it is, it's the connection, it's whatever bond this is that you have together. It's, one based, like, there is a question of commitment here. And that's because of the Five of Swords. It's like, well, also because the Hierophant is, commitment, marriage, something committed, something serious, something of maybe, what society is expecting of you, even something conventional. It may not even really be what you want, but it's something that you feel is the right thing. you know, for what people are expecting. But the Five of Swords is really not a good energy to have in any kind of relationship reading. So let's find out why this is here. Why is the Five of Swords here? So it seems like they're kind of bitter. They're angry about something. Yeah. So defensive. Maybe they did something to you and you're trying to, you know, hold them accountable for that, and then they are not too happy about that. The reason I say that is because this defensiveness, it's like this person thinks you're against them. And you probably aren't. You may disagree with them on a certain issue and they think you're against them all of a sudden. They think that you're just out to get them. So they're taking this route of, no, I'm going to win no matter what. I will win at all costs. And like I said, you know, any kind of relationship, it's really not good to get the Five of Swords because of that. You know, there is no equality. They're not looking for fairness. They're looking to win. They're looking to be on top. They're looking to not be a loser. Like basically a loser in this situation would be they're going to be embarrassed, rejected, humiliated. They're going to be the one on the bottom. And they don't want to be that person. So they're like, you're going to be that person first. Like, I'll do it first before you do it. Like, they think you're going to do it first. This person could have some heavy issues, like, involving commitment in general. Like, this could be something that is just not their thing. Like, they're just not used to it. They've been fucked over a lot, for example, or whatever the case is for them, but they're just not comfortable in these situations. It's possible. It could also be that, you know, maybe something did happen in this connection between just you guys, you know? Maybe something did happen for them to feel this way or be kind of, you know, angry or, you know, not trusting the situation and feeling like you're against them. But if it's not anything like that, like you guys have no past, then I would just say that, you know, it's something that they brought into this connection from something from their past. He was thinking this before, but when he came, or when he went for healing camp, and after coming back, he said, I completely understand that you wanted good for me. Okay, so let's see if this is, it kind of seems like, to me, when I first read that, it kind of seemed like either that is, like, maybe, like, this is how he really feels, and what he's saying is bullshit, but it could be that maybe this is, you know, something that's happening now, that this is something that happened already. It's possible, but we're asking about current feelings. He already had commitment issues earlier because of his childhood issue. Right, okay. So healing camp resolved everything. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot to resolve. So, you know, there was something he brought into this situation from childhood, you're saying. So it's hard to say that that's just healed already. I mean, shit, I don't know. It's him, not me. Could be. But it looks like Five of Swords is here, so let's see what's going to happen as we move forward then. Because this would be the healing camp, right? This would be that time to heal, to really, you know, realize what you've done. But like I said, you know, it kind of seems like that's what should have been done, right? Like, this shouldn't even be coming out after this, you know? So that's why I'm like, this could be the underlying motive. Just saying. You know, it's Five of Swords is really not cute. Not cute energy. So they could be telling you that, but by the way, this is Virgo, Cancer, and Taurus energies here. Virgo, Cancer, Taurus. Just so you know. Okay? If that has anything to do with it. But let's go further. Let's see what is going to happen here as we move forward. What does this person need to know about this connection? This person in general, have they healed or are they angry? Like, why? I mean, this person's getting defensive. Why are they being... It's funny, they say, I know that you always were just trying to do what was best for me, but they're coming off as you're against me. And I'm not going to be put down or made to feel like I'm the one who's wrong or, you know, missing out or losing out or going to be rejected or going to be put in this position of, like, lower than another person, even though that's probably not the way you see it all. Like, you wouldn't even feel like that, even if you did reject them, you wouldn't feel like they're lower than you. That's just, there's no power struggle for you. You don't look at people like that. But that's how they're looking at it. Like, there is, like, if they're rejected, they are lower or they're not as good as you. But it's like, no, it's just, maybe we're just not meant, you know? But they're seeing it as like a power struggle. So let's see. What do we need to know as we move forward? Probably pull a chakra wisdom for you as well. Okay. Ace of Cups, Judgment. Okay. So you're gonna have to make a decision here. But you're probably not gonna easily be able to do that because of this blindfold. See the blindfold she has on? She doesn't even know that she's holding two swords in her hands. They could be cucumbers for all she knows. You know, she doesn't know the power that she has in her decision making, basically, is her thinking in this. So she thinks that whatever she does is really irrelevant. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a change, and it's not going to matter. But it will matter because this is your life, and that matters. What you do in it, the choices you make. So remember that always. But, you know, it could just be a natural thing for you to think like, well, if he doesn't care what I'm trying to do or what I want or what I'm feeling, then it doesn't really matter. But you have to remember that, like, it doesn't matter if he disagrees with it, you can still do that for yourself, you know, but you may feel differently because you might love him or, you know, whatever, that there's a strong connection, whatever it is, you know, whatever the reason is for that. But, you know, we have the Ace of Cups here. So I was thinking, okay, maybe we're going to see some love and some genuine, but Judgment card comes out after. So it's like you have to really use your better judgment on this one. You have to really, I would say, not just take everything for face value, at face value, and just have your own back for sure. I mean, just don't depend on this as everything, as your self-worth, because I mean that's never good anyway. But like, you know, you need to use your better judgment on this. Even if it is love, even if you feel like you love them, it doesn't mean that it's the person for you necessarily. It doesn't mean you put everything into this with the past that you have with them, you know, with things that are at risk for you. Even if you think they've changed or they've healed or they're claiming to have. I mean, how long was camp? Was it years long? I mean, because I don't think anyone can heal that quick. You know what I mean? It's just not going to make a, you know, this is something you have to work at every day of your life to be able to be a different person, you know, because of traumas and things that you've been through, ways that you were raised. It's not just so simple as I understand it, so I'm different. No, I mean, it takes a lot more. But, you know, I'm not him, like I said. Anyway, what we're seeing here, though, what I want you to think about and understand about this, what's coming forth is about, you know, there is love here, but you're going to need to use your better judgment. Like I said, just because you love the person, they love you, doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's the best thing for you and for your highest good. There's arguments, petty arguments, for sure. It's not serious stuff, but it's still arguments, you know? So it's like, just because I'm saying it looks like it's not about serious stuff doesn't mean you guys feel like it's not serious. Because obviously there's arguments, there's a problem. But it's not even just between you two is the thing, too. It's between you and other people. Like, it's more than one person involved in these arguments and these bickering, you know, these you know, disagreements that you guys are having. It's not literally physical usually, like it's showing in this card, but it is drama. And it's probably having to do with more than just one person here. It could be your family, it could be his family, friends, you know, it doesn't matter. Well, it does, but, you know, it's just more than one person. I'm saying it's not just causing problems in your life or his life or both of you together. It's other people getting involved now. And this is kind of like very abrupt that this is taking place. Like, it's almost like you didn't see it coming and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Because you see how he's coming in on his horse. He's just coming in and it's just like he's coming in with force. And there's nothing that anyone can do to stop this guy, you know? So basically, I would say that that's probably why the Judgment card is here after the Ace of Cups. Because it's like, yeah, it's all fun and, you know, it's all lovely and beautiful and great and emotional. And then boom, these arguments come in without warning, you know, and it's like there's nothing you can really do to stop it once it's there. So, I mean, you really just have to prepare yourself and have your own back, like I said. So make sure that, like, if this takes place and something really fucked up, like you need to get out, like, fast, you can. And that you know that you can and you actually do if that's what's best for yourself. But it looks like with the Two of Swords here, you're kind of like in a situation where you're not even aware that you can actually do what's best for yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You know, it's like, it doesn't matter if he wants that for you or if he feels like that's a good idea. No, it matters what you feel is the best idea for you. But you feel like what your contribution to the situation is irrelevant or insignificant, or it doesn't matter at all, is what you're thinking in this position here. So you should really focus on getting your power up right now Like, you just really need to focus on yourself. But if you're going to be with this person, then I would just say have your own back, you know? Just make sure you have your own back and you don't put all of everything into this person, because first of all, we should never do that anyway, but because of the issues that we're seeing here, you know, especially. We had a breakup because of commitment. It's not feeling involvement. He has no commitment. Led the fights, but is he feeling at present the same as he felt before healing camp? Of course, not quick, but I want to check if he has any intent or little shift. You know, it may be that he really does feel like it's, well, that's the thing though. It's like, if this is the overall intent, and like from the beginning, you know, this is going, okay, this is the healing, right? Like, or it should have happened. That's, you know, what is, you know, the energy there. But then we're talking about like, okay, moving forward now, as we move forward, as we take action and continue on, it's going to the Five of Swords. So I'm not sure if it's that he already knows it's headed there, or if he's feeling that way now, or if he Okay. You just gonna take my hair off. Okay. No. We're not going to start a new one. Sorry about that. My computer died. I had to get it back on and everything going again. So sorry about that. Okay, let's see. So we're going to look at basically, sorry, let me read your comments really quick. You said you want to talk to me and need some time. And I don't know what it's based upon. Okay. So yeah, to me, it's like he's kind of feeling some type of way. I mean, even though we're talking about this healing camp thing, it's like there's this anger, there's this bitterness and resentment and kind of like needing to win, needing to, be on top, I mean, like there's a serious power struggle. So seems like the healing didn't really work, in my view of the Five of Swords. It's like there's to me, it's like there's healing that needs to be done still for sure. But, obviously it's just not that simple, but let's look at, okay, 9 of Wands. Fearful because of being hurt in the past. Hypervigilance. Maybe that's why they're paranoid a little bit. But it's not really like paranoia that, it's not really paranoia because they have been hurt in the past. You see the bandage on their head there. So they have been hurt in the past. But now, that totally makes sense actually, because now this person, they've been hurt in the past. Maybe not from you, but others, like you said, yourself, and you agreed that it was something from before you that did happen to them. But the reason that this is actually, I feel like resonates with the Five of Swords energy is because this person's, always alert for something to go wrong. Like they just feel like it's not even about like will something, if something, no, something is going to go wrong is their view of things. So I need to make sure I'm safe. They're always alert. But it could be a little extreme sometimes because, of course, it's not always going to go wrong. But that's how they feel because of how hurt they've been. And now they just never want to be in that position again. They never want to be vulnerable again. So they won't allow themselves to put their guard down. But with that kind of mindset, it's kind of like that would make sense that they're like, I'm going to get you before you get me because I know it's going to go wrong. I know that this is going to end badly. And, really, it's no way to think. It sucks. Their relationships are always going to suck if they keep that mindset. But some people do that, after getting hurt. That happens. So I feel like that 9 of Wands really does make sense, with the 5 swords there. I don't feel like it's personal anger on you, but with that kind of mindset, that's how it is with everybody. Is he still holding bitterness and resentment for me, like his current feelings? Well, I feel like, yeah. I mean, I feel like if it's not for you, because of anything that's happened between you, like it's just because of how he is. He's just, I mean, you can't really just change that. When you're not willing to be vulnerable because of how you've been hurt in the past, I mean, it's really going to affect your relationships. You can't just continue to not be vulnerable in a relationship. There's going to be that distance, and he seems like he has other, it's not even just distance, and he seems like he is angry and thinks that people will get him if he doesn't get them first. Like look up the 5 of Swords if you want and just see, the things that it says about it. That's the energy of this, how they're feeling about shit. And I don't think it's really personal. Because if you guys haven't had if you haven't really seriously fucked them up, and they just kind of always had commitment issues and you kind of feel like they fucked you up, well, yeah, I don't see that changing really, I mean, at least not right now. Because if they're in the 5 of Swords energy, I should have just said this from the gate, but I didn't want to just, assume. But the 5 of Swords is, it's a very bitter, angry, they're going to win at all costs. And it's really not good to be in any kind of connection with that energy, because it's not going to be fair, and they're not looking for fairness. They're not looking for equality or meet me halfway, you know, let's both put in work. No, it's like, I will win, you will lose, and I'm not going to be in that position. You will. So it's just, you know, it's really not, well, you can decide how you feel about that. I won't tell you how to feel about that. But yeah, bitterness, resentment, that sounds about right. Doesn't mean it's necessarily, you know, your fault or anything you've done. Pointed at you, though, if you're in a close relationship with this person, yes. Because they don't trust people that are close to them. Some people just don't. In relationships, when we get too close, it's no good because they don't trust. I don't even get why they get close to people at all. Maybe because it's expected of them in the community and wherever you guys, you know, the people around you, or maybe you help them to look like they've healed more than they really have, or, you know, in society, or what's expected of them is maybe that's why they're doing this, or staying with you, or remaining with you, or, you know, why they're in a serious relationship at all when they obviously have commitment issues. Maybe that's why they went to healing camp, you know, because it was expected of them, or, you know, that's just what was the right thing to do at the time. Just a few things to consider. How do they currently feel about you? Let's see. Well, I mean, about you personally, though. Thanks, Twin Lioness. I'll definitely get your reading right after this one, okay? So we'll look at, like, what are their, because I already know they're feeling like, obviously, they're going to win. You know, they're going to not end up on bottom, which, you know, in any situation that they're vulnerable in is what they feel is going to happen, because the last time they were vulnerable, they really got fucked over, probably by someone in their family or someone they really trusted. So vulnerability out for them. And anyone close is really kind of in a position that is risky. So, because they don't trust, and they probably think you're out to get them, you know, because whatever happened between them, or I mean, with them in their life before. So, let's see. 3 of Cups. Celebration. Okay. Well, it's interesting that you said that they wanted to talk, because yeah, they're at a standstill. It looks like they're not really sure how to approach a situation. Like, they're not going to be moving forward until they get more information first, which, you know, that's a whole other thing we can get into. Like, I'm not sure what information they're looking for, but right now it seems like things are good. Gathering, happy to see you, kind of like, let's get together and celebrate. Maybe because, you know, they're home or they're back, right? But there's something clouded here and confused, like either them or you. But since we're talking about their feelings, maybe this is their feelings about you, you know. But basically, I don't see them really taking much action right now, just because they're wanting more information first. So about what? I don't know. Like I said, that's a whole, you know, we'd have to get into that. I will get another message for you about, you know, what you just asked, your spirit guidance. That's what I'm using this chakra wisdom for. Isolation. That's what I'm using this chakra wisdom for you. So let's get that message for you. Disha. Chakra wisdom. Don't worry, if these cards that fell out are supposed to be your card, then it'll come out again. Okay. Service. If you don't mind, I'm going to move these so that I can get more space for you to see this card. Okay. Chakra Wisdom Oracle for Disha. Let's get her a Chakra Wisdom. Let's get her a message, please, about her current situation that she needs to know. A message from Spirit, please, for her to know what to do next. Guidance of any kind, but what does she need to know? What is her card? Release. It looks gray, I know, but it's neutral in the chakra cards. Okay, so it's a neutral chakra, and you got release. Okay, kind of like my nails, but this is neutral. Release. So just check that card out really quick. Kind of sad and depressing, isn't it? But it's not what you think it is. So let's see what this is about. It's usually not exactly what you think it would be about. Oops. So neutral is embrace the spirit of universal consciousness, okay? The overall impression is neutrality. Keywords are enlightenment, consciousness, purpose, wisdom, spirituality, unity, and expansiveness. So, in the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, we reach the place of universal consciousness, which is outside our physical body. You may notice that these cards represent some aspect of our collective being. The idea here is that we all vibrate through our seventh chakra, and in a powerful way, it keeps us connected to our humanity. The cards of the seventh chakra are neutral in color because spirit, in essence, is neutral. Here, you will receive messages from spirit that are detached from human worry. These cards indicate the higher-minded thinking that happens when we align with spirit. The power of holding space can also be seen in the still energy of each card. Here you will see how conscious choice, again, conscious choice, that's for you, that's on you, can bring you spiritual magnetism. These are the cards of mastery. So I love when it says conscious choice, because that's a thing that people, I mean, I feel like they are kind of intimidated by or feel like it's a big responsibility, but it really is better to have conscious choice than to be controlled, right? So, I mean, focus on that or try to think of it in that way. If that seems intimidating to you, it's actually kind of nice to have that choice, you know? But it is up to you to make that choice for yourself. So, neutral cards at a glance. Release. So Shadow Gray Storm is the character, and it says, "See all that you are, for you possess a power that you have yet to understand." That's funny, because that's exactly what we're talking about with this. And this is you, remember? You don't think that what you have to say, your contribution, your ideas, your worries, your fears, your wants, needs, you think that they don't really matter. Or they're irrelevant or insignificant, but that's only because this blindfold here, you don't even know that you have swords in your hands. You don't even know the power that you have in this situation. And here we are. That's why I love the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck, because it says, again, see all that you are, for you possess a power that you have yet to understand. This may feel daunting, but great freedom. What did I just say about conscious choice? Remember? This may feel daunting, but great freedom awaits as you meet your shadow self. Profound inner wisdom is coming to you. Stand steady. You are more than you know. Okay, so let's see. There's also a little story here to go along with this. So, release, shadow gray storm. It says, I can no longer keep your secrets. The legend. Nikita. Oh, that's funny. Is Nikita here? I didn't see her yet. Anyway, Nikita cuts through the graveyard as she rushes home in the wind and rain. She is terrified when Shadow Gray Storm appears and speaks in her own voice, repeating painful things she has said to herself and others. It's all your fault. I'll never forgive any of you. As she listens in the rain to her own words, she learns it is she who has been making herself miserable. She leaves the graveyard with a changed heart, ready to forgive herself and others. So, inspiration. This is about personal responsibility and release of blame. It is time to clear the debris and move on. You cannot move forward while you continue to hide. Wow. You cannot move forward while you continue to hide. The personal inquiry, this is for you to ask yourself, Disha, is this indicates healing family of origin issues. Am I ready to face my past and let go? Wow. So not only does this person have family of origin issues, but it could be you as well, and maybe that's why you feel like you don't want to, like you want to, stick to this person maybe because, they remind you of someone from your past, or maybe they behave like someone from your past that you grew up with or that you're just used to being around, but you don't see it that way because, maybe they're nothing alike, but certain behaviors maybe that you feel are normal because it's something that you grew up with or was normalized as you were raised. It could be, issues with your family of origin as well that you need to heal so that you can release this, so you can see what it is to you and maybe that there's something better out there, for example. But key ideas here are release, dwelling on past, righteous anger, change in consciousness, judgment day, seeing clearly, hidden truth, and great discovery. Keywords are healing, remission, and integration. You said, yes, this resonates so well on so many levels. Right on. Good. Okay, so down here at the bottom, we have a little meditation for you. It says, to do this meditation, you must have no distractions. Shadow Gray Storm simply asks that you sit and listen. In the silence, you will hear yourself. If you sincerely seek freedom, Shadow Gray Storm may come to you. Wow. Okay. So here's what I just read to you. Hopefully it is clear. Hopefully it focuses here. Wow, right on. It actually is focusing. It never does that. That's cool. Just if you want to read that again to yourself. Or you could, of course, just rewind this and listen again. But sometimes if we read it ourselves, it kind of like hits us different too. So if you wanted to, you could probably just look it up online. They may have it somewhere, a picture of it. They may have that, page in the book somewhere that you can read. It's called the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, and you got release. Okay? Release. Chakra Wisdom Oracle, release. Okay. Right on. Yeah, I love that deck. It's always hits exactly what we're trying to talk about, which is why I love it. It's awesome. And it always resonates with people, so glad it resonated with you as well. I had expectation issues, and when those were not fulfilled, I was hurt and also blamed him that he had hurt me. I made myself miserable by blaming him for not fulfilling my expectations I had from him. Thank you so much, dear. Right on. Okay. You're welcome. And thank you for the donation and for your questions, Disha. Thank you for your time, for being here. Hope you got something from that. I kind of feel what you mean on that too, because yeah, I guess are you saying like basically you knew that he wasn't gonna commit, that you kind of had expectations and you got disappointed? That's what I was thinking too when it said the blame thing. Like it's like, yeah, I mean, you can continue to blame him, but like if you know kind of what you're already dealing with, then it's like, you kind of have to take responsibility after a while for like, okay, am I gonna keep doing this to myself? Because you could have hope, but it's like you may have done that before and did it work? I don't know, some people just don't want to give up hope, and that, makes sense too. But anyway, hope that did something for you. Yes, it helped. I'm on the right path. It is the confirmation. Okay, good. Okay, so who, somebody else donated. Oh, Twin Lioness. Are you still around? What action will Jesse take regarding us? I'm a Leo, he's a Taurus. Kim, 725, okay. Yeah, no, we're not doing the wheel today. But we will do something creative after this to pick the next person to get the reading. So it won't be just, like it'll still be like a game kind of, okay? So we'll do something fun after this one, okay? Twin, thank you for your donation. Thank you for your question. Let's look into this for you. So what action will Jesse take regarding us? Let's see, what will he take? At least from right now, what do we see him doing? This could change tomorrow, right? This could change. He's 422. Okay. So this could change tomorrow. This could change right after this reading. I mean, but regarding the energies that we're, that are currently there now, what do we see happening on his end? How's Jesse feeling about the situation? How's he feeling about the situation currently? Ooh. Well, I mean, hang on a second. To better understand this for myself, I just want to ask you really quick, are you helping him with something, or is he helping you with something? Like, are you, like, maybe a job, or maybe just some way keeping him stable? Or is that him, he's helping you to stay stable? Like, who is lending who a hand here? I mean, you don't have to answer that, but you could just, whoever's lending who a hand here. I feel like this is, the energy, like this. But, we're asking about what he's feeling about the situation. So if this is his feelings, neither, you said. Well, let's see if I can rephrase that then. Who is the one feeling like the other person okay, maybe you're not aware of this. It's probably not you then. And we're asking about his feelings, I guess, so that would kind of make sense. But it looks like, you know, because, okay, you see this person that's lending the hand to these people down here? This person is kind of like, has more to give, you know, and they're giving. And you see how they have that scale in their hands? So it's kind of like, oh, balance, right? But in a way, this really isn't balanced because they're kind of above the person, right? Like they're not, like, I mean, you know, depends on how you look at it, but it's, you know, they're not in the same position. They're trying to balance it out because they have something to give. These people are needing something, so they're trying to give back, right? But this card could also kind of represent some kind of like, I guess you could say power struggle in a way, like a person feeling like they're above you because they're lending a hand, like they have something to offer that you just don't have, that you need. Even if you don't feel like you're this needy, that could be what we're looking at here, okay? Well, I do his hair and he sends me referrals. I don't think that's what we're talking about. I mean, it could be, but, well, shit. I mean, we are talking about stability. Someone bringing someone stability, opportunities for stability, money possibly too. Look at this. It's kind of like someone giving money, right? Even though this isn't really just, you know, you're not sitting on your ass just getting money, but it is like an opportunity that you'll have many chances to take advantage of. But you do have to do something. You know, you can't just sit there on your ass. But even though it kind of looks like you're just getting given this pentacle here, but it's talking about, you know, there's opportunities for stability coming. So and this is how they feel. Opportunity, maybe they feel like they're giving it to you. But the sun's here too. So what? So do you get any sense from them of like that they feel like it's their, like they are the one who's getting you all these clients, like they feel like, you know, they're taking all the credit, like it's not just like you're really good at what you do, but no, it's because I'm giving you all these clients, like it's like because of me, like because I've given you so much help kind of thing. Like you don't get any like, I mean, do you get any kind of like feeling of like they feel like they're really like kind of helping you out a lot and you're like, okay, dude, like it's not like thank you, but I mean it's like it's not just you, you know, it's not like you got me here to this point. Because that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like they could be feeling like that. They want shit. They could want credit for it. They could feel like they are helping you out a lot more than they really are. Like they're the reason that you are even in business or something, you know? Like, and to me, I feel like that's a little extreme. But like I said, with this whole card here, it's kind of like they feel like they have something to offer and you're needy in a way, like they're above you, you know, even though that's not really like what this card like generally is about, but that's kind of the energy of the, you know, it's not really a balanced thing. It's not really like this is a balanced relationship. It's more of like this person feels like they have something to give, like they have more to give. And in your situation, it may not be that way because you're not, you know, this, you're not like poor needing help literally like in this card. So it's like the energies of the people, like is that how they're seeing it? He brags on me and encourages me all the time, but he does mention that he sends people my way. Okay. So let's see. What were we asking about? what they're gonna do, how they feel about the situation. So yeah, they want the credit. The sun. All attention on them. Anyway, let's go a little further and see kind of what they want to do about you. Like, what are they going to do next? It's funny. That sounds like some people I know. Huh. Are you a Leo? Yeah, you said you're a Leo, huh? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's definitely not the people I know, but it's funny. You're all neither. See, when you said that, I was like, are you sure? And they're like, well, we do kind of lend a hand to each other. It's like, yeah. It's funny because the way it's said sometimes, it's like some people just don't see it that way, you know? And it's like, yeah, no, we're not. Well, I guess we kind of are, but so that's interesting how that happens. Oh, shit. Glad I saw this on the ground over there. I mean, I know I dropped it, but I wasn't going to add it in the reading, but, you know, it seems relevant here, especially with this card on the bottom, underlying energies. This is going to be something that, you know, like if they haven't made a move yet, that's probably going to happen because this is like the beginning stages of a relationship or somebody courting you, someone trying to like start a connection. You know, it's a page. So it's like the beginning stages, the early stages, a young energy. Wow, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I totally thought that the mic was on. But yeah, so here we have lovers. This is like probably, you know, this is like the next action we're looking at, right? So it's like, and especially with the Page of Cups, this is early stages of something because the pages are young energy. Oh, wish I didn't see that. Fuck. I really hate to put this reading in that kind of direction again, but since I noticed it, it's like hard to just ignore it. God, I just hate to be negative, but I noticed it, so I really can't ignore it. Let's see what this is about, though. You know, this person could have problems in the same way as the last reading. They could have problems getting, you know, becoming vulnerable too. Let's see what their vulnerability level is. Well, okay, let's not go that deep. You want to know what's going to happen next, okay? So why? Let's just look at where the Five of Swords is here. I won't get into their like whole life story and everything because you're not asking about that. And I'm a Virgo, so sometimes I just go off on details that are really irrelevant in the whole grand scheme of things. So let's focus on your question instead of what I want to know about the person. All right, so let's see. What's the Five of Swords here for? What's the Five of Swords here for in this situation? His next actions he's going to take towards her. Okay, again, this is a different deck, remember. Wow, yeah, that seems like that's the whole thing here. That's really a big issue. And not necessarily an issue, but it's the issue, you know, not like problem issue, but it's just the whole thing here. So, wow, it's going to matter, you know, you guys lending each other a hand, but I feel like also this person getting the credit for it, especially. And if they feel like they don't get that credit, they may feel like you're against them. Or they may just feel like you're not giving them the attention they think they deserve or the credit they think they deserve. And so basically you're saying that they're not worthy of the credit that they think they're worthy of. It seems petty. It seems like this person is a type of person who thinks they're above people. I don't want to get into their whole psychological makeup, but yeah, that's so funny. Okay, so thank you for saying that, because I kind of didn't want to go down that route, but you know what, you're right. You're right. That's probably the best way to do this. It just seems like if, they're going to think that, like, if you don't give them the credit that they feel they deserve, which, like, I'm not even talking about, like, something that makes sense. I'm talking about, like, it really is kind of irrational. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. It's kind of like extreme, like, okay, dude, like, yeah, you got me some referrals, but it doesn't mean this is all you're doing. And that's kind of like what it seems like to them. Like, to me, it seems like that's what they're feeling. Like, it's like they really think that they are the reason you're so successful or that you're even doing what you're doing. And it's kind of like, if you don't give them all that credit, they could start to think that, not necessarily that you're against them, but just like this, I like, I'll win at all costs, but why would they have to be fighting you? Because you're obviously not on their side. You obviously don't see them for the worth that they're worth, for their real worth, which is like, it's not even true. But like I said, it doesn't really make sense to them. They feel like they're worth so much more. And so they need to constantly be told that. You see where I'm getting with this? Or you see where I'm going? They need to constantly be told how great they are, because they're so fucking great, apparently. So yeah, I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say, but because I'm not just gonna say, like, they're kind of like, they seem a bit narcissistic, but there, I said it. Yeah, straight up, huh? Said yeah, and they give Leos the bad rap. It's like, yeah, that's funny. So make sure you give them that credit, or don't, and have fun with that, because they're gonna be like, oh, hell no, you don't even see my worth. You obviously just don't know. You obviously think you're better. Like, watch them accuse you of that too. I don't know. I mean, this could go any number of ways, but shit. I just think it's probably good for you to, like, know what's, really going on in the situation. Like, it's not really them. It's not really because of them all the way. It's because of you too. So give yourself that credit. And you're kind of dealing with a child here. Like I said, it doesn't really make sense. So it's kind of like immature, and I guess insecure too, because if they really need that much attention or, somebody to constantly tell them how great they are, then obviously they're not that secure. So that's kind of sucks, but seems like that's the next action. No, no wheel today. Okay. Sorry about that. I just received your payment right now. Twin Linus, and I was just making sure I was just like, did they just donate again? Like, why? But yeah, okay, I'm just receiving it now. Okay. I wouldn't even say that. Like, it's not like this is like just that for him. It's just that the way that he's, like the way that he is, it's like if you don't give him that credit, it's kind of like he's looking at it like you don't respect or you don't see his worth, which is ridiculous. But it's ridiculous for him thinking he deserves all that credit anyway. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of just like it's kind of immature, and it doesn't really make sense for like a mature adult to be thinking that way. But you're not really dealing with a mature adult. But obviously, but no, I mean, he could want to be with you. I mean, like we said here, I mean, it looks like he's going to be trying to, make this happen, like the early stages of a, relationship. But then soon enough, because you're a normal, healthier than him person, apparently. And you don't think that makes sense to just give him all the credit for your work. So it's like he's not going to like that, and he might still be with you, but it just doesn't seem like he's going to be happy about that at all. Which is probably not going to really make sense to you. Like, why? What, you really think that you deserve all this credit? No, dude. And so, but no, I don't really feel like he thinks of it as like a business relationship more than love. It's just that it's like, that's, it doesn't even turn into that. It's just, he feels like like you're not on his side kind of thing. But that's ridiculous, but that's not really the case, obviously, but hi Nazrin. Well, I'm gonna take the newest people here today just because I want to give them a chance to kind of feel it out and see if they like the readings that I offer, to know if they want to continue to be a subscriber or even become one at all. So that's just kind of what I'm offering right now. If you want to donate, you definitely get a reading. If not, then we're going to play a game as well. But I do see somebody who's new today, so I'll go with them first, but then we will do that little game to see who gets the next reading, okay? So we're going to kind of try to still have some fun with it without the wheel. But yeah, wheel tomorrow. Or actually, it's 5:09 a.m. Wow, did not realize that. So yeah, today, later tonight, we'll do another live, and I'll have the wheel involved in that one, because I like the wheel too. Is New Girl still around? If New Girl is here, please speak now or forever hold your peace. If not, oh, see you. Okay, yeah, go ahead and post your question. If you don't have one, I'll just read generally for you. But hi. Yes, in a way, yes, twin. I made you, yeah, kind of, or I brought you success, or, you wouldn't be here without me, I would say more. You wouldn't be so, in the position you are unless I was helping you or whatever, What does my crush think about me? Let's see. What does New Girl's crush think about her? Okay, so we have first of all, this person could be a Sagittarius because we have Temperance here. That's the Sag card. Doesn't have to be, but I'm just letting you know that that's also what this card means. Also, I do also see that it's possible that they could be an air sign, which would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, only because, you know, we have Earth here as well. I don't really feel like they're Earth. It could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Just putting it out there because that's the energies we're seeing here. But, you know, I mean, we see Earth, air, water, and fire, but since this is the Sag card, this is Sag. It's not just fire. And then I'm thinking because this person here is, you know, a character, she's feeling some type of way in this situation. So I feel like that's an energy in itself. Could be an air sign as well. I wouldn't really say water just because it's the Two of Cups, unless you guys are both water, because that's two of you in a relationship or connection. It could be both of you, but anyway, the energies here are basically somebody waiting, you know, taking their time with something, being very patient, and not really taking a lot of action just yet. I mean, they're willing to, like, it's almost like they're waiting for something to happen without taking action. So it may never happen because of that, you know, if they're not willing to eventually take action, right? Unless you're willing to initiate. But they're not really sure how to approach it yet, obviously, with the Two of Swords. But I do think that they feel something for you and actually feel like it could go somewhere. Because the Two of Cups is not even the lovers. It's like, no, there is a bond here that is, you guys see each other eye to eye. You see, like, you guys are a lot alike or the same, or have a lot of the same wants, needs, desires, hopes, wishes, fears, you know, dreams, whatever it is. Like, you guys are going in the same direction. You're compatible for sure, is what they think. You know, like, you guys click. You know, they see you as a person they can get along with very well. And shit, even bring a lot of harmony and balance to their life with the Temperance card there. But yeah, so I mean, I don't really see them taking action on it right now. They don't really know how to, I guess you could say, because with the Two Swords, I mean, they could be a little insecure, indecisive about how to take action on it because they're waiting. You know, they're not taking action on it at all right now, and they may never, because, you know, the Seven of Pentacles is like a card I never tell people to really be like, because it's, you know, waiting for something to happen instead of making it happen. And really, if you wait and wait and wait, you could be waiting in vain. It may never happen if you just wait for it to. So, you know, that's kind of the energy that they're taking on, though. But I think it's because they're a little, like, unsure of how to approach it, or they're a little insecure. I am Aries. He is Sagittarius, he said. Okay. Yes, we get along well. Well, Aries and Sag would get along well, wouldn't they? That makes sense. So yeah, let's. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I think that answers the question pretty well, right? You know, what do they feel about you? What does my crush think of me? Okay, so we're gonna do a little game. And this game is going to be for the next reading. Let's see. Think of everybody one chance only. Okay, so only put one in the chat. But think of a number 1 out of 8. Actually, I wasn't thinking any of those numbers. You guys are funny. Okay, so we'll do this a different way. Do any of you have an August birthday? Do we have a Scorpio in the house? Scorpio? Do we have a Scorpio person here? Asking that because I got a water, 5 of cups, and Pluto. That would mean water with the cups, and then Pluto is Scorpio, so that's a water sign as well. Gemini. 2 Geminis, huh? It's funny, recently I read something that said that actually all the mutable signs, Virgo, actually Pisces. Oh, was Pisces one of them? It was, huh? It was Pisces, Virgo, Sag, and Gemini. So all the mutable signs, yeah. All the mutable signs are, you know, the most serial killer people. They had those signs, so it's kind of funny. Gemini came out, and then there's Pluto, which is the underworld, or transformation, all that shit. But you know, the dark side. Anyway, I just thought that was funny that there's all these Geminis here. Okay, so let's see. Anybody else coming up here? Needs a reading. Needs a reading. Still have water. Nine of Wands. Okay, so is there a situation where Eight of Cups, someone's trying to find themselves, or is there a situation where somebody is trying to kind of like go and find themselves, or they're not satisfied in the situation they're in, and you know, it's kind of hard to know if you're in an Eight of Cups situation. That's kind of more something that I would tell you that you should do, but it's kind of like you're feeling a bit lost, you know, feeling a bit lost, and then there's this like fear or anxiety, you know, it's like you have been fucked over, probably something to that effect, you know, something along those lines. And you know, now it's stressing you the fuck out. You can't really sleep very well. You're stressed out throughout the day. You're worried something's going to happen, like somebody, you don't know how to trust people. Like, did something just happen like that for anybody? Because that's the situation coming out here. So let me know if that is, if you feel like that's you. Yeah, I am taking personal questions and specific questions. It's just, you know, I don't really know how to pick the next person, you know. I'm trying to just kind of like do it in a different way because I don't want to just like pick a person. So I want the person to just kind of like be chosen, you know, somehow without me choosing, because I don't know who to choose. I don't know. Here, how about, here, I'll just put your names down and I'll just like pick randomly. Whoever's here right now, say something into the chat, please, so I know that you are wanting a reading. I have New Girl, Kalpana, Beatrice, Muna, Nazarene, and Infinity 17. If you're not on this list, let me know. Oh! That's funny. You weren't here yet. Huh. Empowered Diva, should I go with you? That's what I was kind of thinking too, but I felt like that was like weird to say, like, the person isn't here yet. But really, like, that wouldn't have made sense at that time, so I don't know. I should just, I keep having that happen. I should just say what I'm feeling at that moment. Well, we'll just, okay, we'll do this raffle. We'll continue to do this raffle. But I feel like, I don't know. There's a reason that Scorpio came out. So we'll go with whoever's here now, but then we'll do you afterwards still, Empower Diva. Because I feel like there's a reason that came out, and I don't want to just be like, no. You know, there's, you know, I want to look at whatever it is that you're needing clarity on. So let's do this first though. You know, because all the people that are here now, I just don't want to be like, you're gonna have to wait. You know, it's like, let's do what we're already doing. And then, but we'll answer your question as well if you're still around. Pick one. Wait, can we try? This one? And here? This one? Okay. Okay. Pick one of my arms. You pick this one? You pick this. Okay. I don't know how to do this thing. No. Okay, so here's the deal. We have somebody that was picked by other people at random, but it was both of them. So Empowered Diva, we were going to go through anyway. So we're going to do you, but we're also going to do Muna. Aw, Luna, I miss her. So one of you guys go first. You know, how will I encounter my soulmate? Muna. Okay, well, we don't know necessarily if you're ever going to have a soulmate or encounter them, just because we don't know that yet. So we can't ask that question, you know, but we can ask, how would you meet this? I mean, we can ask, what do you need to know about that, meeting that person, if you can, if you will, what it is that you need to, like, what direction to go in to find a person. What's my soulmate like? So we have, okay, I know I'm being very literal, but I mean, you want to know this, and we have, you know, in our lifetimes, if you believe in soulmates, some people don't. So of course you do. So this is for you. We have many different soulmates in our lifetime, and they're not all romantic. So you're talking about a romantic person, right? That's what, you know, you're asking about. So let's ask. So let's say, you know, looking at it like this person will be revealed to you, like fuck, I don't even want to say it because I just don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know. Hang on a second. Like I can like be like pretend, but no, I'm pretending to hold things off. It's like I don't even. Well, you might not ever meet this person, actually. So, but you know, they're still out there. So So let's just ask about what they're like. And then maybe you'll know by if you meet a person like this. So you have many different soulmates, right? But let's see, what is, you know, the one that's wanting to come out, apparently, within the cards. But the ones the cards want to bring to your attention, because obviously it's going to be important for some reason. So I would say you probably will meet this one. So let's see. What is this person like, and how would they know that you met this person? How would they know that this is the person? Can you identify this person for us? In behavior, maybe the way that they look, or their age, their sign, their elements that dominates their chart. You probably, that's funny, because that's exactly what we'd want to see for a soulmate type connection, isn't it? Because it's like your other half, the person. Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. Okay. So you'll probably meet them. Fuck. Damn it, really? Like, okay. Well, this can mean a few different things. Let's just look a little further before I assume. I'm going to go ahead and say that could mean that this person isn't revealed to you for a long time, or maybe they're right under your nose and you don't even know it because you never give it a chance. So you never know it can be this connected. But like, it's kind of like hidden. It's kind of like they're keeping it to themselves, or maybe you guys are both keeping it to yourselves how you feel, so it never like happens in that way. But it could if you did let it happen. That's the sneakiness. Okay, let's just go with that first of all. Because I don't want to just completely be like, oh, this person's a sneaky motherfucker. But, maybe you guys are, but maybe you're both just keeping it from each other, so it never happens, or you just, no, I would say it's probably the second, which means the person's not very non-committal, so it's not really your fault. You believe in soulmates. Do you believe in past lives or anything, or like karmic connections? Because even if this is a soulmate, it's like this person obviously in this lifetime is not at the place of being able to be in a committed relationship. They're obviously non-committal. So this could be your soulmate, but for whatever reason, their own reasons, this is their journey, as well as this is yours. So it's like you guys meet and it's just not the time that you guys are going to be connected in that way. Because in this lifetime, at this time, they are this energy, which is non-committal. So even if you guys are very connected, they just aren't that way right now. They're just not ready for that kind of a connection right now. So maybe in the next lifetime, maybe in a past lifetime, you guys were, but in this lifetime, no. In this lifetime, but it's because they're not at that point. So it's not even like saying you guys won't connect and totally hit it off, but they're just not in the energy of being able to be in one place for a very long time. Like they just can't stay put with one person. They're in, they're out, but it is very passionate. So that's how you know that it's them, because it's very, very passionate and it feels like it's on fire, basically, I guess you could say, because the Knight of Wands is hella passionate, but he doesn't remain, he's gone the next day and you're just kind of like, what? So it could be hurtful because promises are probably made and, like not literally necessarily, but it could be. But I'm just saying, like something to that effect. It's like, things are, you guys think it's going to go somewhere, right? Because it's so passionate, it feels so good, but then it doesn't because they're non-committal. They're riding in on this horse. Excuse me. They're riding in on this horse and then they ride out, just as quick. So it happens very fast, it's very quick. And yeah, I mean, heartbroken is something that could happen as a result, for sure. Let's see what else we can get here, though. I would say that's how you know that it's them, because it's very passionate, and then it just like stops. So that could be how you could identify them for sure. Three of Cups. Could be an Aries person. Could be a Taurus person. Could be a person who's already involved with somebody else, but I doubt that because if they're non-committal. But I mean, I guess it could just be non-committal with you at that time. Or maybe they're just the type of person that cheats and that's why they go around like that, and they're in a committed relationship, but they still go around like that. you know, because there's 3 of Cups here. So it's like there's always that third. But I feel like they are in somewhat of a committed relationship otherwise. You know, maybe that's why that third is there too, because there's always that third person. But with the Hierophant, you know, it's like there's a commitment here still. But maybe not between you, but there is a commitment that they're responsible for with the Emperor. But that three, that there could always, that could be why, you know, there could always be that third, but it's just not anything that's really going to stick, you know, with you. Do they know about this third? Probably not, because that 7 of Swords there, that's the sneakiness. You probably don't know about that third, you know, or else how could it get to this point, really? I mean, unless you thought it was, or, you know, I mean, shit. Anything could have happened in this situation. The way that you can know it's them, though, is because it's very passionate. Could be an Aries, could be a Taurus. Could it be a person who's already committed to somebody else? But, you know, not really, right? Because obviously they're getting with you at the same time. I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not when this happens. If it does happen. And I say that because it's like at this point in your life, whenever this occurs, who knows? I mean, you could be at that point in your life where you're like not willing to, you know, be with anybody who's already connected no matter what. So you could be like, no, this may not even occur because you won't allow it to. You know, but if you would allow it to, it might occur and become this, you know, but maybe at that point you just aren't about it. Because we do have free will, remember? So it's like you don't have to do anything that it's saying. You can definitely do whatever the fuck you want, and it would obviously change the outcome of the whole situation. But from this point today, this is how you can identify that person. And it could be something where you guys are very connected, but like I said, you know, they're non-committal, and that's going to get in the way of anything happening, you know, or being committed between you, right? So it's like, shit. But again, we all have free will too, so they could even choose to change that about themselves. Not saying, you know, put all your eggs in one basket there, you know, but because this is what's coming out, so this is kind of, I feel like the thing, this is the situation, you know, at least right now. But, well, that was fun. I thought it was fun too. Okay. Being as honest as I can be with what's given to me in these cards, right? So, again, it could change at any time. You can choose to do whatever you want. So, really, I think that's just kind of like an identifier reading. Like, how do I know who the fuck you're talking about? Oh, yeah, that happened. Totally. You know what I mean? But it's not anything to like make any life decisions based on. Of course, it's going to be up to you still, but kind of know what's going on, what's going to happen between A and I. He's a Libra, and we're in no contact. What's going to happen with A and Empowered Diva? Let's see. Hey! What is the next action from today on regarding everything that's occurred recently and everything that they intend to do? What is going to happen as we continue on? As we close out this year, or, you know, and continue on into the next year? What's the energy between these two? What's the energy? What's going to play out? What's the energy between these two? A and Empowered Diva. So it looks like there is the energy we see between you as we finish out this year and, you know, start next year is, you know, somebody being closed off still. So it seems like there's, if any, communication, very little. Still, like they're not giving or taking any offers. Like if you offer them anything or kind of try to get a hold of them or whatever, you know, you invite them somewhere or something, you know, whatever it is, they're not really having it. And they're not really, like, You know, it could be they're not responding at all, or they're just not, you know, accepting the invitation, and they're not asking you, they're not inviting you, you know, it's like there's very little, they're not giving or taking any offers. And, but it's a cycle. Like, this is a cycle thing. This is a thing that continues on. As time goes on, it's like you always come back to the same, you know, it's full circle. So this is a direction it's headed in with the Eight of Swords, or it's Eight of Wands here. And that cycle, you guys could come back together actually at some point. Look at this. This is the cycle. Unfortunately, it's a cycle. So it's kind of like this may happen time and time again, which is not really fun when you're wanting to be with the person. It's like on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold is what I mean, like by cycle. Because if we're seeing here that they're closed off, headed towards this cycle of getting back with you, or at least not even necessarily in a serious relationship, but you guys like communicating again and being cool again and maybe getting together, you know, for coffee, or maybe, you know, being sexual, whatever it is, getting together, you know, coming back together, not necessarily in a serious relationship, maybe so, but, you know, kind of reuniting in some way, then going back to this, because again, it's a cycle. So it's like, I mean, hot and cold, basically. It's like, if you want to deal with that on, off, on, off, on, off, because I don't see it ever really just be continuing on in one of those directions, either of them, you know? It could be something where you seriously waste a lot of time on it because it doesn't progress into what you're wanting it to, and kind of just continues to be something, then nothing, then something, then nothing, you know? So it's like however long you're willing to deal with that is up to you, of course. That seems like what we're looking at in this situation between you, the energies between you, at least from this year and next. At one point, if any of you are willing to break that cycle, then, you know, free will is a thing that changes the outcome. So if anything changes in this situation, come back for another reading and ask again, because then obviously the outcome will be different. Of course, it could be the same as well, but it may be different if there's changes, you know, that are out of the ordinary for you both. Okay. Kalpana, let's just do you and Infinity really quick, because I know you guys have been here a long time. So Kalpana, what's happening next in your love life? What can you look forward to? Confusion, clouded thinking. Why is that? But why is it? Okay. It's hard for you to be on your own is what I'm feeling about this. Like you, and it's hard for you to own that, I feel like, you know, with the Queen of Swords here. It's hard for you to own that fact, that for you, it's just hard to be on your own. And maybe when you're on your own, you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like you're just like, you know, you're confused about your identity. Like you really don't see yourself as like able to be where you want to be in regards to like how you feel about yourself. It's saying kind of that you're probably going to be in a moment of single, you know, a period of being single, because with the Queen of Wands, it's like you're very focused on you, getting what you need to get done, and there's not really anyone else involved in that. You know, she's very independent. It's a good energy, really, it is. But the reason I'm saying that I feel like you take it negatively is because, and you know, we do see success here too. You know, you able to have your shit together, and you're also not like greedy or closed off. Like you're willing to help others and, you know, extend whatever you have, which is good. You're open with a good heart, right? Like you can support others as well if they need it. You're not just like, I have money and I'm greedy and I am not going to help anybody out, you know, is kind of like what we're seeing with the Nine of Pentacles. Because she has her pentacles, but she's also tending to this garden and she's also helping this bird. So, you know, she's good-hearted, I guess you could say. She's, you know, willing to share that with others, but also has her own shit together. So, I mean, you're seeing success here on your own. That's good. But for you, you know, the moon here, it's like it's, and the reason the moon's here is because your thinking is clouded. Like you're seeing it, I don't want to say like wrong, because you're seeing it however you see it. That's your reality. That's fine. But like you don't understand that, like, you know, that doesn't mean anything about what you deserve just because you're single. Like, it doesn't mean you're not good enough to be in a relationship, or like, you know, you need to change anything about yourself. It's just not the time. So whenever, if this, you know, if during this time when you're single, just try to remember that it's just not, you just haven't met anybody that's for you yet, or, you know, it's just better for you to be on your own now because maybe you need to focus on yourself a little bit more. Maybe that's what the universe wants you to do, is just focus on you. And maybe when you're in relationships, you kind of become all consumed in them. So it's probably better right now for you to be on your own so that you can focus on you, you know, instead of like another person, and kind of like not focus on yourself, you know, and kind of not, you know, do well or be successful as you could be because you're focused on somebody else, then kind of all consumed in that. So I feel like it's going to be like, you're going to be single if you take this advice. I mean, you might just try your hardest to be in any kind of relationship you can, who knows, but you know, that's whatever you decide to do. But it seems like it would be a good idea for you to kind of be single right now, because it's going to be better for your success. And it's going to be better because if you can take this advice of focus on yourself and only yourself, don't ask permission, don't need reassurance. I mean, she's independent as fuck. She doesn't need anyone to tell her what their opinion is at all. It's like, okay, that's great you feel that way, but I'm going to go and do this. And, you know, you can come if you want, but if not, like, I'm gone. You know, it's like, we're not even having this conversation. Like, I'm just, you see me as I'm walking away because I'm doing me, you know? So it's not even really like contemplation, talking to people about it and seeing, no, it's just, this is what you're doing. So if you can take that advice and try to see it that way, instead of, you know, that you aren't good enough to be in a relationship, then you're good, you know. And either way, I still feel like you'll find success financially, or, you know, in your job. You'll be able to take care of yourself and be responsible, you know, for yourself. That shouldn't be too much of an issue as it would be in other times, or, you know, while you're in a relationship. But yeah, if you can take on the Queen of Wands energy, that'd be all the better, you know. So love life, it seems like you're going to be single for a second. And that's a good thing, though, you know, because we do see success for you. So can I have a love reading? Let's see. Infinity. Ah! You're weighing your options in a situation, trying to figure out if you should give up more, or if you should, you know, if you should be getting more. Like, I feel like you're in a position of, you're putting in a lot of effort, most of the effort, and the other person isn't. And if you're single, it would be like, that's what you're, you know, that's what you're kind of doing anyway. Like, it's not, you know, in your relationships, this is a pattern. Like, you're sacrificing a lot, really, and you're kind of trying to decide if you should continue to do that. You know, should I keep giving, or should I be expecting more on their end, or should I just keep giving more? You know, it's like you're in between on this. Like, this is a position I feel like you're kind of used to, and I feel like you're contemplating whether or not you should be in that position or continue to be in that position. This is a different deck, remember? And look, Queen of Wands, love her. Perfect for this kind of thing. Because, yeah, no, you shouldn't just continue to be in that position. You said right. Yeah, you shouldn't continue to be in that position. I think that it's probably better for you to like not be in that position. It's probably better for you to be single too, just like the last reading, because Queen of Wands is not about like being connected to somebody. It's about being on your own and being very independent and not needing anybody. So maybe that's what you need in order to like allow yourself to not allow this kind of thing to happen to you again, because it is a thing that keeps happening in your relationships. Probably romantic and non-romantic, but you know, you need to kind of like realize that what you want matters and like what you need to do matters, and like you need to focus on that. You know, so I feel like if you're able to kind of like take a break and maybe focus on that and get into that mode, when you get back into the next relationship, you know, you already have that in mind, and it's like you're not willing to even do this again because you know your worth and you know you need to focus on you or nothing's going to happen in your life. You know, no one's going to do it for you, right? So if you can take on the energy of the Queen of Wands, shit, you might even be better off next time you're in a relationship, because this is not the Queen of Wands. She's not going to be doing all the work for people that should be doing it for themselves. She's not going to take on responsibilities that aren't hers. You said you're tired. Yeah. I think you need to focus on yourself. Even though you want to be in a relationship, it's like, it's probably not good for you right now because you want it so bad. You're not even going to like choose wisely enough for yourself. You know what I mean? Because when we're lonely, sometimes that's what we do. We're like, oh, I just want to be in a relationship, any relationship. Someone's giving me attention. Okay, cool. No, that's not always the case. Even if somebody loves you or likes you a lot, thinks you're really cool, that doesn't mean they're for you just because of that. You know, it also matters, you know, if you guys are adding to each other's lives or taking from each other's lives, like, you know, one of them is not going to be good, right? So it's like, you know, don't just jump into anything because you want to. It might be better for you to like, even though you've been single and you want to be in a relationship, it might be better to like focus on like being okay being alone first, like actually choosing to be in a relationship, not just really wanting to be, so I'm going to do it because I'm lonely because I don't want to be alone. But like, you know what, I think I've met a person and yeah, they seem, I'd like to have them in my life, you know, because I want to, not because I really need to or because I don't feel good enough without them, but because I'm doing really well and I met this person and we click and let's see where this goes, you know. But it's not about them and you, like, can't make it without each other. Independence. I know it seems like it's not, yeah, taken for granted always. It seems like the like opposite way you want to go right now, but you should probably figure out how to first get into this mode before you get into the next relationship, so this doesn't keep happening. So you know that you can walk away at any time, because shit, I'm not going to be this for anybody again. You don't expect anyone to take care of all your problems, right? So don't be that for anybody else, because that's, I'm not surprised you're tired. I'm not surprised. Let's get anything else here. I mean, are you? That's a lot of work carrying those 10 wands up that hill. You know? Anything she needs to know as we continue on to the next. Phase of her life, her next relationship. Yeah. Transformation, biatch. Yeah, you're not going to be able to be, you're going to have to change first. That's kind of cool though. That's good. There's going to be changes that are going to come. That's probably why that keeps happening too. Because the tower, remember, comes when we're supposed to make changes that we're not making. And you're not making the change of knowing what's better for yourself, not allowing this, you know, you're doing everything for them and you're getting taken for granted, like you said, in your own words, you said taken for granted. So, you know, same thing here we're talking about. It's like this is a pattern and you're not changing it yourself. So the tower is kind of like a friend. It's like, look, you're not going to do it, so I have to. You know what I mean? That's what the tower is. It's like you're not making these changes, so here, boom. Now you're going to have to make change because this is uncomfortable as fuck because nothing's working out the way you want it to. So you're going to have to make some changes, you know? You're gonna have to just realize like what is good for you and what isn't. And that's probably gonna take a lot of like different things that have to change. So all the way around mindset, the way you view yourself, your self-love, you know, your self-love habits, your care for yourself. You're gonna have to focus on these things. You're gonna have to make a change in order to like actually allow this change. But it's not really gonna be a choice because the tower is not a choice. It's there because you haven't made that choice. And thankfully your spirit guides, the universe or whatever your higher calling is going, yeah, no, we're not going to, no. You're veering off from your path. You're not supposed to be some fall down bitch. You're not supposed to be somebody who's just used and not taken seriously. So we're going to make it really uncomfortable for you until you change this little pattern of yours, you know? So it's kind of like a friend, even though it seems really uncomfortable, but it's for your higher good, your highest good. And that's basically what the tower is. It's for your highest good. It's for you to evolve and change and grow and stick to your path, which is not the Ten of Wands. So when things start to fall down, please do your best, try your hardest to actually make a change instead of resisting that change. Like make a change, do something different. You have to change this pattern and only you can. No one else can change it for you. So when things start to not work out, like these relationships are all the same, they're not working out, they're not what you want, it's probably for a reason. Because it's like you're not going to get what you want unless you are getting what you deserve, you know? But first of all, you have to know that you deserve that, like everyone does. You know, this is just your journey. You have to realize that. You can't just allow this to keep happening. But you might, so it's going to be kind of like difficult for you, but you'll realize it at some point, I hope. You know, free will is a thing, so it's like you don't have to realize it ever, but I hope that you do, you know? But the way that you can know that this is happening is because shit is not going to be working out at all. Like how it hasn't already. But if you can make this change yourself, it would be a lot better because the tower is not pleasant usually. And it's there because you haven't made the changes yourself. So it's, you know, it's you probably won't make the change until you have to, but you'll grow from it. So you're welcome. Thanks for your question. Love you too. Thanks for being here. I'm glad to always see you here, Infinity. Aw, don't cry, girl. Just change, you know. Just be there for yourself, you know. If you can. Try to be. Do the best you can for yourself, you know. You're all you really have. Right? All right. So you guys, I'm gonna head out. It's kind of late for me. But thanks for being here and be here tonight at 11 p.m. Okay? I'm going to try not to be late this time because I was kind of late. But thanks for being here and I love seeing you guys. I know that you guys need or you guys want readings. Please don't be mad at me. It is 6 a.m. for me and I need to get some sleep. So it's better that way because I don't want to give you a half-assed reading anyway. So come back tonight and I'll get those questions answered, okay? Thanks, you guys. Come back tonight at 11, okay? Promise? See you there? Promise? If you really want a reading, I trust you will be there. All right. Have a good night. Or morning. Have a good day.